Well, good day everybody. If you're new here, my name is Chabulile Muketi and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the locker room where we talk all things sports, and boy has it been wonderful. You're probably wondering to yourself, Jabs, why do you got two videos back to back? From the previous video that I've seen, that video I recorded like earlier this week, but I haven't just gotten the chance to edit it fully. So please do forgive me. I am a college student first, and there was assignments that needed to be done. Hopefully I got them all done on time. But if you're seeing this, it's probably Saturday, which is tomorrow. Today's Friday. The previous video that I just recorded, you will see it probably later on tonight. As usual, we got UFC coming up, and we continue on the madness of March that always happens every year. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you are notified whenever I upload a video. Once again, I truly do appreciate the love and support that each and every single one of you put out there. Please interact with me. Go in the comment section, hit that thumbs up. I'll leave my Instagram and all of my socials down below in the description too as well, so that you guys can find it easier to access my socials. And yeah, don't forget to grab your popcorn, your snacks, everything that you need. Well, we've got a lot to discuss, so let's step into the locker room. Okay, the first segment that I would like to talk about is the UFC main event. I feel like it's been forever since I last spoke about the UFC on this specific channel. And the first fight that I would like to talk about, and the only fight that I think I'm going to be talking about this whole segment, is the main event. Well, the main event is between Adesanya and Joe Pyfer, which for me is an absolute match made in heaven. You got the veteran in Adesanya and the young rising star in Pyfer, and it's taking place on the 28th of March in Seattle, Washington at the Climate Pledge Arena. It is going to be a middleweight bout at 185 pounds, which is going to go the full 5 rounds UFC style. I mean, I'm looking at these two records right now. Israel Adesanya, who's 24-5, and Pyfer, who's 15-3, who's just climbing out of the ranks. Israel Adesanya, who is 36 years old, and Joe Pyfer, who is 29 years old. I mean, the biggest takeaway that I can see from this is that Israel Adesanya has got a reach advantage of 5 inches. And plus, he's got way more experience than these two, than Joe Pyfer. Between these two fighters, they both have got two different fighting styles. Israel Adesanya, who is elite, who has got a kickboxing background. I mean, he has controlled distance and pace. He likes to dictate the tempo of a fight whenever he's fighting. And I mean, he's got a strong takedown defense too as well, 76 to 77% of it. He is what you call a technical fighter. He doesn't fight using his emotions. He doesn't fight using power. He's just calculative with it, and I think that comes from years of experience since the time he started his kickboxing career in Japan till now. And you can see that everything has just been a combination of what he's learned, and he's putting that experience out there. You got Pyfer, who is a new up-and-coming fighter. I mean, he's earned his stripes. He's earned the right to earn this big money fight, and this is his first big fight that he's main evented. He's got a power punch. He's explosive. He's got the KO / I want a aggressive mindset. But the one thing that I would say, he's gonna be less experienced compared to Israel Adesanya because he's got limited experience versus elite fighters. So this is gonna be the first fight that he's gonna be actually challenged against an experienced veteran, and I would love to see this. What's at stake for both of these fighters, you may ask me? What's at stake for Israel Adesanya is that right now he's towards the back end of his career, as I would like to call it, back end of his career, because if he loses this fight, we could hear serious conversations about him contemplating retirement, because he's 36 years old. He's closer to 40 than he is to 30, if I may put it that way. This could be a career-defining fight for him, and I believe if he does lose this fight, he could retire because he lost 3 fights already as is, and it pains me to say that the most. It really does. You know when your parents say when they're hitting you and you're like, they say it pains me more than it pains you. This is what I feel right now. It pains me more to say that Israel Adesanya, because I've watched him since a few years ago, entering the UFC, seen him become a champion, reach the pinnacle, seen him go down too as well, and regain his title back. So for Piper, this is the biggest fight of his career, because it could put him in the top 5 rankings, and it puts him next in line to challenge for that middleweight championship of the UFC. And for me, this fight is going to be determined in 3 factors, right? Distance versus pressure, experience gap, and early danger, right? I'm going to explain each one. Distance versus pressure. Adesanya can win at range, but Piper must keep close distance and keep it messy. Piper, that's kind of his fight. He likes to be in your face, fighting you, just like the experience gap between these two fighters. What I mean by that is that Israel Adesanya has 4 champions at the top. Alex Pereira, he's got Drickless Duplessis, Sean Strickland. He's fought them at the top level, compared to Piper, who is still in the ranks of rising. So this is going to be his first big challenge. And for me, early danger. What I mean by early danger, I mean Piper is dangerous in the first 2 rounds, because that's when he's fresh and he's looking for that all essential blow. But if that fight continues and it does go the full length, Israel Adesanya is gonna be the favorite to win, because the way Israel Adesanya loves to fight is that he likes to control the fight, but he's a hard man to take down too as well. So he's gonna want to be all up in his face and just control the fight tempo, earn the hit, and then if it goes to the judges' scorecard, I see Israel Adesanya walking out of there with the victory. So, simple summary of what I'm saying is that Israel Adesanya's got the skill, Piper's got the power, Israel Adesanya's got the experience and cardio, Piper has got the danger in this fight, which is going to be determining what happens. The next segment that I would like to move on to is March Madness. What an absolute cinema March has been. Oh my days. Let me just start off with this saying, so many upsets. I mean, the teams I didn't even think were going to make it to the Elite 8 actually made it. And by the way, if you haven't watched that previous video, I did say Houston was going to win over Illinois, which Illinois proved me wrong. As much as I am man enough to admit that, you know, Illinois, I was not familiar with your game like that. I am sorry. I was just not familiar with your game like that, and you guys are in the Elite 8. Congratulations to you guys. As I may say, today has got some pretty good games, in such a fact that the Duke Blue Devils are going against St. John's. Michigan Wolverines are going against the Alabama Crimson Tides. You got the Yukon Huskies men's basketball going against Michigan State Spartans. And then you got Iowa State Cyclones against the Tennessee Volunteers. Duke Blue Devils, favorites, title contenders. You got Michigan Wolverines versus Alabama Crimson Tide. For me, I feel like this is going to be a good game. It's going to be probably one of those high-scoring matchups where you see both teams going back and forth at one another. If this game does go the full length, I do see it going into overtime and being decided there. Yukon Huskies versus Michigan Spartans, which I think is going to be a very physical game, but I do see Yukon just getting that little bit of edge over them. And Iowa State Cyclones men's basketball team against Tennessee Volunteers. I say this is going to be a defensive battle between these two teams, but I would take Iowa State Cyclone. The only reason why I'm rooting for Iowa State, by the way, is I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. Right, my quarterback is Brock Purdy, and where he went to Iowa State. So of course I'm gonna be rooting for Iowa State to have a Cinderella run, but they counterpoints the 9th seed Iowa Hawkeyes, which they have been on a Cinderella run, by the way. If you think about it, they are heading on all cylinders right now. And teams that I think are firing on all cylinders right now, it is Purdue Boilermakers, Arizona Wildcats, Illinois, and Iowa Hawkeyes with the Cinderella run too as well. Teams need to dig deep because right now the pretenders are being separated from the contenders right now. Whoever wants it more or who's ever hungrier is gonna get the spot to the Elite Eight and eventually to the national championship. My prediction for the Final Four are Duke Blue Devils men's basketball team. By the way, they probably got the most talented roster that there is to see right now. They've got elite offense, plus they got depth too. And for me, I see them as a lock for the Final Four too as well. You got Yukon Huskies who have tournament experience. I think, in my opinion, they are more dangerous in the off-season, in the postseason, if I may correct myself, because they have built reputations on them winning the national championship in the off-season too, as well as making deep runs to their Final Four. And I see the Arizona Wildcats because they've got a young squad. They got fast-paced offensive experience and offensive explosiveness and can outscore anybody. I think it's just a mixed match, whichever you put it. And they just recently beat Arkansas Razorbacks yesterday, so which was a very high-scoring game too as well. I'll put up the score somewhere here just so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. The other one that is going to replace, because I have Florida in the Final Four, right? But then they lost, of course. So I had to replace them with somebody who I thought is going to be better contender. So Purdue Boilermakers, they're going to be one that I believe, in my opinion, they are a disciplined team. They've got size. And I think they're the hardest working team to beat at half court because their transition from offense to defense and vice versa is elite. Something I've never seen in quite a long time. But who do I have as my national champions? Who do I have as my national champions? I got Duke versus UConn in the national championship, and the champions will be, for me, Duke University. Why do I say that? It's going to be a high-scoring game. Versatility is going to play a key part into this, and the one thing that I know about Duke Blue Devils is that they adapt. An upset pick, which is quite important too as well, as it's going to hurt me to say this, but if St. John's does win against Duke, if it happens, it could be a bigger upset. And Iowa Hawkeyes, they're on a Cinderella run too. And Tennessee could also upset whatever team they're playing against too as well. So those are the kind of things I have there. Okay, this is the simple version that I have for you guys, right? I got Duke winners, Cinderella run, Iowa Hawkeyes. Best game probably so far and it's going to be Michigan versus Alabama. And one team that I think can still cause an upset is St. John's. So March Madness has been absolutely light to watch. You can go from zero to hero overnight. Stars are being made each and every single day that this tournament is being played. And all of them have got one goal of reaching the national champion and lifting up that title at the end of their collegiate career and eventually to move on to the NBA. This is what dreams are made of. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that post notification. Thank you for the love and support that each and every single one of you could drop. Drop your predictions down below too as well. Do you think Israel Adesanya is going to walk out with the victory, or do you think Piper is going to walk out with the victory? Who do you think is going to win March Madness? Is Illinois going to make it to the Final Four? Well, those are all questions that only the teams can answer, and the hard work and the effort that they put in. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Once again, my people in them, love and guidance.